BJ Gaddour with the Daily BJ, and these are my 10 favorite back building exercises. Subscribe to my channel. The first one I like to start with is just the classic dumbbell chest supported row. Dumbbells allow you to strengthen imbalances between sides. The chest supported action takes your lower back out of the equation to protect your spine and just really laser focus on the upper mid back area and owning the pattern. I like this for sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. A slight incline allows you to get full range of motion. Just dig in, lock it in. Hammer grip is going to take your biceps out of the movement, make your back work harder. It's also very wrist and shoulder friendly. You're going to pull up to the hip level, arms form 90-degree angles, hold for a count or two, lower in control, and just keep working that pattern. Visualize cracking a nut between those shoulder blades. Really get it going. The big problem with a lot of rowing is people go really heavy. They use a lot of body English. They don't really actually make the muscles that we're trying to target work. Mid-back, rhomboids, mid-trap, lats, rear delt. Also, make sure we don't pull too high and let that humeral head roll forward. You want to pull just to the point. Pull low and get a 90-degree angle. That's the optimal angle to use for your rows. The banded one-arm dumbbell row is a phenomenal way to increase muscle activation and auto-correct your form. You can do this a couple of ways, actually 3 ways. One is using just a pure driver this way. Another one is laterally from the side. Coming this way is going to help emphasize pulling low on the row. So you want to pull to hip level to improve form and technique, get more activation to the lats and rear delt. Coming across the body is going to, and really wrapping around your trunk, is going to increase the activation in that whole scapular region, rotator cuff, and of course the lat. And if kind of taking both angles simultaneously, I can actually get both functions. So the back and across. So I'm angled like this. I can use that bench to support myself, pull across the body, squeeze, lower in control. So you're wrapping across and pulling low to the hip. Arm forms a 90-degree angle, squeeze at the top. You get peak tension and peak contraction. I like sets of 8 to 15 reps per side or work periods of 45 to 90 seconds. You'll love that. Number 3 is the hammer grip pull-up. Now, once you can do higher reps of this movement, you actually want to load it up and increase strength. It's your big strength and mass builder. It's going to allow you to actually increase your pull-up totals. People think doing endless reps of pull-ups increases your pull-up totals. Yes, it helps, but the stronger you get in a pull-up, the better you can get more reps with your body weight. Now, you can load with a weight fast, a dip belt. I like the band-resisted option because it unloads the joints at the bottom. You can do it more often, and it gives you peak tension and peak contraction. That hammer grip is going to take your biceps out of the movement and use more back. It's also very wrist and shoulder friendly. Yes, the wide grip option is great for building the lats, especially as you go wider there, but it can be very stressful on the shoulders, so I don't like it for weighted reps. So I'm going to take that band, anchor it down to a plate or rack, loop it on the hips, and then from there, I'm going to kind of tuck my knees, pull the rib shoulders down, crunch the abs, maintain that position, and all I'll do from there is drive the elbows to the ribs, squeeze for a count or two, lower and control. I can obviously increase band tension over time, or I can mix band tension and weight fast as I get really strong. I like sets of 3 to 6 reps for this. And then you can do multiple sets of that, and you can actually finish off with a couple back off sets with your body weight for higher reps. Build that back. Number 4 is tall kneeling lat pull downs. I actually do this one because it's my only option for pull downs at home. I actually have a battle rope attached to a tree, create a kind of a pulley system. You get all my equipment at gardenofgains.com. You get 10% off this setup, both attaching it to the rafters of a gym or to a tree with my coupon code TheDailyBJ. You can also set this up in any lat pull down or cable machine, and by going tall kneeling, you kind of make it self-limiting in the sense that you can never go too heavy and cheat and rely on the anchor or the knee pad, and you have to really lock in your core engagement. The lats are also a spinal stabilizer, a core stability muscle, so you really get that going as well. I like the rotational handles, and what I do is lock it in, pull the rib shoulders down, crunch the abs, clench the glutes, pull, squeeze for a count or two, lower in control. I can rotate to a neutral grip, or I can also go all the way and rotate and finish underhand and really get that low lat activation at the bottom. But I love this for sets of 10 to 15 repetitions, just owning the pattern, slow controlled tempos. You could also do this from a split kneeling position and get some great hip flexor stretch involved as well. Both options are excellent, and this is one of the best ways to build your lats because of the fact you're working in that frontal plane. That adduction really emphasizes the lats and gets the width for those shoulders. I had mentioned earlier that the wide grip pull-up is one of the best ways to build your lats. Again, that humeral adduction coming down here is really going to maximize the activation in the lats, but it can be very tough on the shoulders, especially with body weight or people that aren't strong enough. So my favorite pull-up variation in general. I don't care how fit or strong I've gotten. I love using self-assisted pull-ups because I can create as much self-assistance as needed, really get a good mind-muscle connection going, and really own the pattern. So we can go wide grip here. You want to set it up about chest level. Feet are down and stacked like this. Only as much assistance as you need from the legs. Pull the chest to the bar, squeeze, lower and control. I like to go slow up, slow down. Set the clock for 2 minutes and just let the lats lift and lower. You'll also get an amazing grip workout here, but only use as much assistance as you need. As you fatigue, you can use more and more leg assistance, but try to rely on the lats as much as possible. I think it's the safest way to do the wide grip option, and it's also a great way to get extended time under tension to spark new gains and blow up those lats. I love the inverted or bodyweight row because it unloads the spine, also activates the entire backside of the body. It's a movement you can do for a lot of sets and many times throughout the week that won't impair recovery, and it's a great way to build up to pull-ups and just assist your back development. Here's one of my favorite protocols. First, you set a bar at waist level in a Smith machine or power rack. You could also use suspension trainers or gymnastics rings, but this is a very accessible option. I like to go first as many overhand wide grip rows as possible to really get the upper back, rear shoulders going. I like to stay with that bent-legged option, glutes engaged, rib shoulders down, abs crunched. Once I can't do any more reps there, I bring my grip in a little bit closer. I go underhand. Now this is gonna get more low lat and get some assistance from the biceps to extend the set and really blow up that whole back and get that time under tension. Pull low, down in the sternum, upper ribs, and then as many reps there as you can. That's a great little stack you can do. Another cool option, you can, again, I like keeping the legs bent at that 90-degree angle the entire time. I'd rather you progress by adding load to via weight vest or chain around the waist versus extending the legs or elevating them. I think that throws off the form for a lot of people. Another cool option is you can take a band and either attach it at hip level to increase glute activation or attach it at chest level to give tension, peak contraction, peak tension and peak contraction at the top of the movement. So here's what that looks like. And again, anytime you can get the glutes going and improve the stability through the lower back, it's a great option. I think you'll enjoy it, but the inverted row should be a staple in your back training. I also really love the Landmine one-arm bent over row. A Landmine is when you put a barbell into the corner of a wall or a Landmine post. You can load the other side with plates, and then you grab the thick end of the barbell, which is very challenging to the grip, and some people can't hold it or have too small of hands. So I actually like to take the Warhammer attachment from Pure Motion, put it on. I get more space and separation from the plates. It's also more accessible from a gripping standpoint. Either way works. You can get 10% off this equipment at gardenofgains.com with my coupon code TheDailyBJ. So here's how it works. I'm going to get into a staggered stance here. It's just a very shoulder-friendly option. It's going to load the entire back of the body. Grab it here, and then I'm going to pull it low and across my body, squeeze, and lower and control. I like to put that opposite hand to the small of the lower back, so I'm maintaining that slight natural arc. Lower control, pull through. I love this for sets of 10 to 20 repetitions, really squeezing the top of the movement. It's my favorite barbell rowing option, and if you want to get more tension at the top of the movement and make a lighter load go a longer way, you take a band, loop it around that attachment, hook it on the foot of the lead leg, and now I got some serious tension at the top to pull against. Again, I love this one, and it does really add some strength work to the glute ham region as well. Give it a shot. The ab wheel is one of the most underrated lat and back movements, and it also works your core and improves shoulder mobility, and it's really easy on the elbows. By adding a band tension to it, low anchor point, put it on one side of the wheel, we can actually get peak tension on peak contraction for the lats. It's really an amazing movement. Do this for sets of 1 to 2 minute work periods, slow out, and then squeeze it on the return. Pillow pad for the knees, abs engaged the entire way, go all the way out. Pause for a second and then bring it back. And then right here is where you get the most tension. Squeeze the lats hard for a count or two, and then go right back out. Come back through. I find this really helps improve pull-up, strength, and stability. It'll also stabilize the spine, get you better at getting your arms overhead, and it's very easy on the spine if you learn how to use your abs the right way. You can also attach band or cable resistance to a device like the glute ham roller from Sorinex. So there's lots of options. But add this into your arsenal. Use it as a starter, finisher, as an accessory movement. I think you'll dig. Best build your back or any muscle group, you need a mix of both lower rep strength work and higher rep pump and burn work. Metabolic stress, what we're about to show right here, is one of the key drivers of muscle growth. It's also easy on the joints, great finishing routine. I like to do this for 100 total reps to finish workouts in as few sets as possible, taking short rest periods. Anytime I need to rest, pause. So I like the crossover setup. You can get all my gear at gardenofgains.com. It really helps improve shoulder stability and positioning and get crazy lat activation, also rear delt. So cross it like this. Instead of over gripping and getting the forearms involved, I like a nice open hand, just pressing through the palm, slight hip hinge, and then from there, I'm not just pulling down, but I'm pulling apart, squeezing, coming right back in. So I'm gonna pick a weight that's tough to get for 20 to 30 reps in a single set. After you get your 20 to 30, come up, take a brief 10 to 20 second rest, get back in, and keep repeating until you get 100 total reps. If you wanna just use this as an accessory movement, you can also just do sets of 15 to 30 reps. It's also a fun one to kind of do as a post-fatigue stack, set of pull-ups or rows, followed up with that to just drive a lot of blood into the lats and make it. 10th and final option is a flywheel one-arm row from a split stance. Now this is kind of a move from the future, but again, I like to show you stuff that anyone can do, but also stuff that is cutting edge. And the flywheel is, I think, one of the best ways to work the back because of the eccentric overload. So the faster you pull, the faster it pulls back. So you really get an eccentric overload or that stretch, which is crazy important for building the lats and really getting crazy engagement in the entire backside of the body. So what I'm gonna do here is get locked in. If the right arm is rowing, the left leg is forward. So you gotta really load that glute ham. It also works the opposite hip shoulder effect, which is great for athletic performance. Pull through, come right back. You can see, faster I pull out, the more it rips me back. So it's really a whole body movement, but so good for the lats. See that stretch I get? But I gotta absorb that stretch, pull right through. I love sets of 10 to 15 reps or work periods of 30 to 60 seconds on that. You can modify with a one-arm cable row, but it's not the same. And this attaches really nice if you're in a garage gym setup. You can mount it to the wall, very space efficient. You can put bigger flywheels on, multiple flywheels, so it's adjustable resistance. But even with the same resistance, it's as hard as you make it, infinitely challenging because the less you pull, the less resistance. The harder you pull, the more resistance. I think you'll enjoy it. My 10 favorite back movements, there certainly are others. These are my favorites that I think will open up new ideas into your training. Subscribe to my channel if you're looking to build muscle and stay lean year-round. Join my online coaching group at GorillaCornGains.com. I love you guys. Peace.